Landscape. We are here with the powerful poverty scholar, Mr. Mike Lee. Mike, why don't you tell for Roofless Radio what's the landscape? What do you want to talk about in terms of the war on the poor in this occupied indigenous territory?
Well, I grew up here in the Bay Area during the late, early to mid 1970s or so. Came down here from about 1972, and in the ensuing years since then, I think what I want to say, especially for poor people here, it's become very mean, sort of thing. The opportunities for poor people to actually do the American thing that they say about pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, there is no more opportunity to do that. Basically, change in the machine, and the machine doesn't need your labor, you just become homeless. The rents here have probably, I go back so far in the Bay Area where you could get an SRO room for $12 a week. And if you went to $17 a week, you had a big room, sort of thing. And I came back down here about 3 years ago, and I thought the rent was $300 a month. And the guy laughed at me, He said, "Oh no, it's not $300 a month, it's $300 a week." And it's the same welfare Patel Palace that had been here in the 1970s, early 1980s, sort of. So I think that's the biggest change for the Bay Area, is that there is a policy of what I call economic apartheid, where you're either part of the system, that is, you're tech and you have lots of money, or you're not. And unfortunately, the people that are in control of them also control the wealth in this country. And they're going to make sure that the rest of us are marginalized, and that we're only allowed to live in certain areas or in a tent, because they don't need our labor, and they only want a certain type of person, and that is generally European Americans who have, 6-7 figure incomes. So I think that's, for me, that's the biggest change within the Bay Area. It's become very mean, and there is this whole system of economic apartheid, which leads, of course, to gentrification and police brutality and that sort of thing.
Any sort of visions on this MLK Day? I mean, we do a lot of revolutionary work. What do you think is some messages for folks?
I think that for me, I wish people would get more angry and understand that, number one, that the government cannot do anything for you that you can't do yourself. Number two, and I'll be talking about this in today's panel discussion, is that we've got to learn how to take care of each other, to practice mutual aid. For instance, everybody likes potatoes. Why is it that one family is going to Safeway and buying potatoes at $2 a pound, and another family is doing the same thing? Well, you put that same $4 together, instead of getting 2 pounds of potatoes, you can get 10. And go feed a third family, sort of thing. So it's not only interdependence, but it's also mutual aid, to be looking out for each other, to really be aware of each other's problems, and to be able to help each other out. So if they watch each other's kids, protect each other from the police and things of that nature. But it comes down to a matter of consciousness, which I think we have really lost here on Martin Luther King, is that of neighbors helping neighbors and practicing mutual aid and voluntary cooperation, is that we have to stop crying about the border and actually start to create institutions that are going to subvert that whole system and start to actually build an underground railroad. When we talk about homelessness, we have to start to build a process where we start taking over vacant buildings, and turning them over to the extreme poor and of that nature. And that only comes from the understanding and embracing this whole philosophy that the government cannot do anything that you can't do yourself.
And that's why we build in hopefulness. Exactly what Mike just said. Thank you, Mike Lee, from
everywhere.